Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Renegade Operative coming at you one more freaking time with the nirvana of E3 impressions I'm just dying to get off my chest. As always, to keep those casual viewers up to speed, E3 is short for the Electronic Entertainment Expo, hosted in Los Angeles yearly, always dated within the summertime. This, my friends, is the Bethesda conference, which I will be highlighting and detailing in full all my thoughts, impressions on the upcoming releases that they have shown at this press conference, whether it comes to games, release dates, trailers, events, things of that nature. This will be a nice little concise format of my overall impressions of this Bethesda conference. So without further ado, let's get things started. The first thing I saw here was Doom. The positives are on the astounding side when it comes to how graphically magnificent the graphics looked on the id Tech 6 engine. The animations really did look crisp. From what I saw, the busted down environments of the blood-soaked space colony that was initially in the beginning, the glorious innards of Hell's minions spilling their guts out in vastly refined details as the player mowed them down with a super shotgun. It was quite obvious that so much love and care did actually go into this thing, and it only seems to transcend Doom 3 even more with the arsenal the size of Fallujah against those very massive creatures from the days of the past. It even seemed like the guy who was playing had a bit of a sense of urgency as he was almost about to die in certain segments if it wasn't for those health packs he received after the enemies were getting mowed over left and right. And it looks just like what I would want from a Doom game. It's a straight up fist to your face, balls to the wall, challenging gore fest with a license to go ape shit while Tweaker's Doom 3 main anthem plays in the background. You gotta love it. A lot of people in the community say the game looks slow, but from here to 2016, we don't know how optimized this game is going to run or be. It could look absolutely stellar on the PC at 1440p at 60 frames per second, just tearing stuff apart. So I'm honestly excited for Doom. I have it on my radar. They talked about some other things. They talked about the Doom Snap Map feature, which is going to basically be like a level editor in Doom. So maybe you can recreate your favorite moments from Doom 1 to Doom 3. That's always lovely to have. They also talked a little bit about the multiplayer and how it's going to be kind of similar to Doom and Quake put together. But from my initial impression of seeing that, it looks something like a Halo. And it looks something like a Dead Space as well, where you're playing with the monsters, you're playing with the demons, you're on jetpacks, you're shooting shit up. Even if it looks similar to Halo, that's not like it's a bad thing. Excluding the terrible Master Chief Collection multiplayer, which is still, from all reports, a broken piece of shit. Halo back in the day online was absolutely excellent. It was fun, it was engaging, you could put hours upon hours just blowing stuff up, hijacking people off ghosts, shooting them to shit, shoving plasma swords up their ass. It was a lot going on, and hopefully for Doom they can keep it alive and keep it fresh and intriguing enough to exhilarate new players into getting into the experience and making it just the stuff of legends when it comes to online multiplayer. The next title that they display here didn't have much of a elongated presentation than initially thought. I thought they were going to show more of this new title, but apparently they didn't. They just stuck with a trailer. But this new title is called Battlecry, and to be perfectly honest with you guys, it didn't look that much exciting. It was a very stylized multiplayer Team Fortress 2 caricature that didn't have the same substance. I felt that it was just kind of on the dull side, even though it has a nice artistic value to it. It just felt geriatric with the melee kills, and certainly the double team of the melee kills didn't serve to alleviate the problem that I was having of this game looking lackluster. Maybe I'm just kicking it too hard. I probably sound harsh, but this title could have a cult following somewhere. maybe there's some potential to be realized. I'm not sure. However, I'm not jumping that much for joy out of my seat when it came to the gameplay going on at hand. Maybe there'll be some more excitement when people get their hands on the public beta, and you can sign up in a list for that currently as we speak to get your hands on it, but I'm not that stoked for Battlecry. Next up was Dishonored II, so I don't have quite a lengthy opinion about this considering the fact that I haven't played the first Dishonored quite yet, but I've heard a lot of rave things about it. I heard some positive things, big word of mouth that the first Dishonored was a good game to some people. But sadly, this was another one of those instances where the sequel, Dishonored 2, was leaked, and it was something we all saw coming ahead of time. Dishonored 2 did get a quick CGI trailer, and it was coupled in with the announcement of a remastered edition of Dishonored 1 coming to current-gen platforms. So, I will be picking up Dishonored 1 Remastered. I know that we live in an age where a lot of people are getting very, very sick of remastered content, but I make some exceptions here or there. If I haven't played that game in particular, of course I'm gonna go with the definitive version that comes with all the content. So, Dishonored 2 releases in 2016. There's a trailer for that. Check it out. And Dishonored, the definitive edition, hits stateside August the 25th. 2015. Next game they showed was Elder Scrolls Legends, and to put it simply, it's a freaking card battle game. I could give one flying saturated brown shit about it. So moving on. P.S. Give us a true sequel to Skyrim if you want to invest me into your Elder Scrolls series so I can try it out for myself. Card games, I'm sorry, since all people love card games, but I don't like them. I want something that is appealing in terms of sequel. So, drop the ball there, Bethesda. Very good conference from the beginning, then you fizzed out with Battlecry, and now you bring this bag of inhuman garbage to our doorstep. I hope you're happy. Let's move on to the real meat of the event, Fallout 4. And here we are to the Mac Daddy of the stage. Fallout 4 was certainly the biggest highlight in the Bethesda conference. Once again, I have to reiterate, I'm not the most observational when it comes to this series. So, I only had some fleeting interest in Fallout 3, and that quickly worn off when a friend who purchased the game for me opted to change the pre-order like a fucking idiot, and he gave me a hack and slash instead. He gave me Heavenly Sword. He said that would tailor more to my intrigue of what was going on with that medium. Unfortunately, Heavenly Sword was kind of disappointing, but that's another story entirely. So, moving on. Fallout 4. From a casual perspective, because I don't have any experience with this series at all, they had a lot going on. More than I could realize with the vast amounts of customizing how your character will look, your wife and child, all of that, the names you can give it. They had a door salesman who could question you on some imminent stats that will build towards your playstyle. There was a lot of endless weapon combos too that I saw near the end of the trailer, and the emergence into the post-apocalyptic setting, man. That shit had a myriad of things going on. From fortifying your bases to crafting how your houses and stuff like that will look. From crafting defense turrets so you can keep bloodthirsty raiders at bay. This game had a lot of shit going on. This game, my god, it's like the mecca of options being presented on the table to the player for you to dive in and experience. It's like jumping full on, head first, in the sandbox, waiting to experience all the tools and toys available there for you. And that's honestly how it should be in the game medium today. give a lot of options, give to the player, give the tools to play with. You don't see that in a lot of games this often. You actually see a lot of that crap in the form of DLC, where you're just constantly getting things behind a paywall and a lot of those options are taken away from you. But I'm glad Fallout 4 looks to have a lot of content already in the game for you, already willing to be there. It's just pretty stupefying, enough to the point where I'm really enjoying it, even though I've never played a Fallout game before. There were some negatives, of course. Like, I had an issue with some of the uncanny animations. There was one part where the character was looking up, and it just didn't feel naturalistic. It didn't feel like an actual human being would move like that in terms of how that guy moved in Fallout 4. It didn't look mocapped. I didn't like that at all. And this goes without saying, while Fallout 4 has some nice additions, graphically compared to Doom, it doesn't match up. They have very, very nice lighting, but the graphics look kind of subpar. Now, granted, Fallout 4 is an open world experience, so they have a lot of stuff going on, and what's going to matter is the content, because, of course, I'm in the league where content matters more than graphics, but it's not like I don't notice graphics either, and when they take the hit. But overall, it was a nice showcase. The extras that were added, like the real-life Pip-Boy and the in-game Pip-Boy having games to play, like a Donkey Kong variant, that got quite the chuckle out of me. And this was fun personified, and the release date raised the roof to what could be one of the best games this year. It's coming out November 10th, 2015. And that was certainly the highlight of the Bethesda conference. I can't wait until they drop the proverbial nuclear bomb on us. Holy Jesus! If I were to score a letter grade for the Bethesda conference, I would quite honestly give a modest B-. They had a great gameplay presentation for Doom. A great showcase of just content upon content upon content with Fallout 4. What fizzed out to me the most is they didn't seem to have much. They also had a card game, Elder Scrolls, whatever, instead of a real sequel to Skyrim. I know it's probably going to take them time because they're doing Fallout 4, but I would not want to see some card game on stage. And the game Battlecry also didn't look that appealing to me, so that fizzed it down to about a B, and that's pretty good. This is Renegade Operative signing off. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was my E3 impressions of the Bethesda conference. I hope you enjoyed it. Nice, concise. I will get to the others soon. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.